Although the garage sale wasn't until Friday and Saturday, if you overpriced your items, I had help getting ready Wednesday evening. Together with Kathy, my mom, and Beth, my older sister, we worked late into the evening and then put in a full day on Thursday. We had boxes of stuff priced and ready to offer up at 8 a.m. on Friday. My heart felt heavy as I handled things that once meant so much to us. Now some stranger would walk off with it. Perhaps a neighbor or two would purchase a memento of our time in this house. Room after room became eerily quiet as things were removed. Echoes returned after years in hiding. The master bedroom was the toughest. The skirt I bought for her in Maui, sell it. The matching sandals we wore that vacation, don't want or need them anymore. Her blouses, slacks, skirts, and all of those shoes. I really wonder if we'll even come close to selling all of those. Mom said to start at $10 a pair for the shoes, even though I'm pretty sure every pair cost a whole lot more than that. She did know how to use a credit card. Almost everything I picked up brought back fond memories. Several times I had to turn my head to wipe a tear away. Maybe my memories would fade in time, but that hasn't happened yet. Seemed like every drawer I opened pulled at my heart. Mom would occasionally send me to the kitchen to get some snacks and take a breather. She and Beth were on a mission, and my broken heart wasn't going to slow them down. Sitting in the kitchen didn't help. My new apartment was small, and I wouldn't need all of these pots, pans, and dishes. By the time we decided we were ready, the garage was stacked floor to ceiling with boxes. The plan was to have Hank, my dad, and his buddies dress in official-looking security uniforms. It was all bought at the costume store. All had permits to carry, and they planned on doing just that. Rumor has it that those looking for free items decide to try their luck elsewhere when security personnel are around. Mom said she'd run the cash register. I was outside before dawn on Friday, setting up the tables and tents. Thankfully, the forecast was for minimal winds and no moisture. Even that early in the morning, potential buyers were driving by asking if we were open. There's always early birds looking to find things foolishly underpriced. Beth showed up around 7 a.m. with donuts. Mom and Dad showed up shortly after that. While the women organized, the men started pulling furniture out of the house. With each piece we brought out of the house, the crowd was growing in size, so much for having a starting time. Mom loved handling the money, and I was glad that we'd bought the package of bags for the buyers to stash their purchases. Beth loved working the crowd, and she was making up stories every time someone asked a question. She'd tell them whatever they wanted to hear. One of Dad's buddies was handling the locked display case with all of the jewelry and antiques in it. Even some of my duplicate tools were under lock and key. Don't really know if he knows much about jewelry, but the little old ladies were eating it up. The street wasn't going to be big enough for the traffic, as two nearby neighbors were also setting up. We exchanged pleasantries. Darcy, Deanne's closest friend in the neighborhood, made her way over just before 8 a.m. "What's going on?" she asked. "Morning, Darcy. It's called a garage sale," I replied. "I know that, silly. Deanne said you guys were just selling a few things," she said. "Yep, that's what we're doing. Look, it's not even 8 a.m. and we've already sold a few things," I told her. "She didn't say anything about furniture," Darcy pointed out. "Guess she didn't want you to know. Love to waste time chatting with you, Darcy, but I've got work to do." "Good luck shopping," I said, dismissing her. Darcy looked annoyed that I'd dismissed her. She and Deanne loved to think that they control all decisions. I wasn't surprised when my phone buzzed a few minutes later. "Hey, Deanne, can't talk long." "Pretty busy with the garage sale, you know. We're doing just fine without you," I answered. "Darcy said you've got the whole front yard and driveway stuffed with clothing and furniture," came Deanne's voice through the phone. "Gotta get up early to sneak one past Darcy. Yeah, things are moving quickly. Nice chatting with you," I said. "Don't you dare," she started, but I ended the call. Well, the first call anyways. I let the next one go to messages, and the next, and then the next. You get the picture. Pictures. I went through the house and pulled them off the wall. The frames were worth 10 times my asking prices. Mom said Deanne had called, but she ignored it. She handed me an envelope with $500 in it, and it was only $815. Looking around, it really didn't seem like the shoppers had made a dent. Every time table space became available, Beth would empty another box. It was a zoo out on the road. Somebody was trying to back their pickup truck next to our driveway so they could load a dresser. Another 500 envelope from Mom. Some lady was trying out shoes like an addict. Looked like she was going to take a couple $100 worth. And I was worried about them selling. Deanne called, and I figured it was time to annoy her again. "Hello?" I answered innocently. "Don't give me that hello nonsense. Darcy says you're selling my clothes and shoes," Deanne snapped. "She is very observant," I replied calmly. "You weren't supposed to touch my stuff," she protested. "My bad. I swear you said to get rid of the ugly things, so that's what I'm doing." "Yep, you even wrote it down," I said. "I was talking about your sweaters, the ones that you think are cute but are just juvenile," she clarified angrily. "Guess you should have been more specific. It reads, 'Get rid of ugly clothes. Your wedding dress sold.' You do know it made you look unflattering," I told her. "Darn you! What the heck is wrong with you?" she demanded. "Just following your instructions. Most of your jeans are gone. You always thought they made your rear look big. Personally, I don't think the jeans had anything to do with it, but they won't bother you any longer," I said. "Why are you treating me like this?" she asked, her voice breaking. "That's rhetorical, right?" "Ooh, gotta go. The lady buying your shoes is ready to check out. Later," I said as I tapped the red button. Wednesday morning, earlier that week. "Enough already. I've been here at all of our garage sales," I calmly replied. "You might have been here, but I did all the planning. I'm just trying to make sure that things go smoothly for you," Deanne said, continuing her micromanaging of our upcoming community garage sale. The HOA limits us to a spring event and a late summer event. We participate, more for the community involvement rather than the money made. It is nice to cull the herd, so to speak, and get rid of things that no longer matter in our life. This time, Deanne won't be around. She's traveling to Cleveland to hopefully close some merger. I think this is her 4th trip there in 3 months. She's not an attorney but works in the legal department of her corporation. I continued. "There's got to be 6 pages of instructions here. I'll have help. My parents and Beth said they'd be here. I think Mom is only doing it so she can spend time with Beth. I just wrote things down as I thought of them. I'm just trying to help you know. Give me the list. I just thought of another thing. Get rid of those ugly clothes," she said. "Whatever. I'm not some petulant child. Try as we might, we won't get top dollar for some things. And yes, some things will get taken. It happens every time we do one of these. I'll keep the good stuff under glass. You keep looking at your phone." "What's up?" I asked. "Simply checking the Uber and Lyft rates. They change constantly. There, see, I just saved $10. They'll be here in 15 minutes. Can I have a hug before I leave?" she asked. "Or more if you'd like. I'll send you off to the home of the 1964 NFL champions with a smile on your face," I said. I was able to hug and hold Deanne as she giggled to get away. "Leave me alone, you silly person," she laughed. "Have it your way. Safe travels," I said. Deanne was out the door in a flash as soon as the rideshare arrived. We were acting more and more like work associates than a married couple. What's that saying? You can observe a lot just by looking? Deanne and I had been out to a party for someone's graduation. The stress of this merger was getting to Deanne, and she probably should have stopped a few drinks ago. On the ride home, she started acting affectionately, which got my attention. Well, looks like somebody's in a good mood. Let's get home quickly," she said, my tipsy wife being unusually forward. I hurried, and we arrived intact. Once inside, we headed to the bedroom and spent some intimate time together. Afterward, with Deanne fast asleep, I replayed the evening. She never initiates romance. So what was tonight all about? She hadn't left my side all evening at the party. If it wasn't me that brought about this different behavior, then who? Something's wrong in Cleveland was my guess. So when the next trip to Cleveland was announced, I alerted my somewhat expensive investigator of her itinerary. No public displays of affection. But my guy had put motion-activated cameras in every hallway of the 4-story hotel Deanne was staying at. She actually did a good job of diversion. She'd come out of her room, get on the elevator, and go buy something in the lobby. She'd return to her floor, but then let herself in a different room. In the wee hours of the morning, she'd return to her room. Case closed. Noon Saturday. Deanne's parents showed up. Hank kept them on the sidewalk, so I came over to visit with them. "What are you doing selling all of this stuff? Deanne said it was supposed to be only a few card tables of items," her father said. "Guess she isn't very good with math," I replied. "She said you're not answering her calls," her mother added. "Not true. I've spoken to her a few times already this morning," I said. "Well, she says you hang up on her and then ignore her repeated attempts to call back," her father pressed. "Why don't you call her and tell her to tell David he'd better watch his back?" I said. "David? Who's David?" they both asked, confused. "Apparently he's somebody she's been seeing on her road trips. Got pictures if you want proof." "I know I wanted proof," I explained. "What proof?" her father snapped at me. "Here's a picture. Keep it, as I have plenty to share. It's dated this morning at 4:21 a.m. Notice how she's barefoot carrying her belongings with her blouse untucked. That's David's room she's coming out of," I said, handing over the photograph. Stutter, stutter, stutter as the words were slow to formulate from them. "But you can't sell all of her stuff," her mother finally protested. "Hey, I've got 6 pages of instructions on how to run a successful garage sale. Hold on, I think I need to resolve an issue Kathy seems to be having." "Go ahead, give Deanne a call," I said. "Somebody was haggling about the price on some of Deanne's grandmother's furniture. I wanted it gone, but the stuff was Gustav Stickley circa 1910, so it was worth a bunch." We finally agreed on $1,000 for the bookcase, table, and 2 side chairs. Based on the last time I checked, they got it for about 25 cents on the dollar. It was something I wanted gone as it meant so much to Deanne. If her hand-me-down jewelry sold, it'd turn out to be a great day. Returning to Deanne's parents, they had tears in their eyes and looked defeated. My phone buzzed, but it was just Deanne. "She says she loves you. Can't you two work something out?" her mother pleaded. "I am working something out. We're getting rid of everything and I'm moving to my own apartment. She can stay here with David if she can afford the mortgage payments," I told them. They shuffled away, wiping the tears as they leaked. I felt sorry for them, as we always seemed to get along. Deanne called again, so I answered. "Hey there. How's things going?" I said. "I'm sorry. Please stop the garage sale," she begged. "I wish you could see how the strangers are sorting through what's left of you and me," I replied. "Oh my goodness," she gasped. "Well, you said to get rid of ugly things and everything you wear makes you look dishonest, so I priced them to move. By the way, how is David?" I asked. Deanne didn't immediately respond, so I ended the call. By 2 p.m., with an hour to go, the furniture and jewelry were gone. Most of the shoes were too. Apparently, Brooks and Hoka brands are desired by the garage sale crowd. We still had a lot of things to sell, but most of the front lawn was now clear of goods. I was walking around with over $5,000 in my pocket, which made me feel a little unsafe. I wasn't surprised to read Deanne's texts, begging me to stop selling her things. I texted back that her jewelry was gone. That got a "you jerk" response, to which I responded, "No, you were the one being dishonest." 3 o'clock rolled around, but Beth and Kathy were still hawking the goods, so we went another 90 minutes before the traffic disappeared. We weren't planning on selling again on Saturday, so we just put stuff back in boxes and pushed them into the garage. Deanne's plane wasn't supposed to depart until after dinner, so she called several times from the airport. With a beer in my hand, I took one of the calls. "Hey there, how'd the trip go?" I answered. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "I imagine you are. Doesn't change my plans, though," I replied. "What plans?" she asked. "I've moved out. Got an apartment close to work," I told her. "But how can we work things out if you move?" she pleaded. "News flash. We're not working things out. You cheated. You got caught. Game over. Better luck next time," I said firmly. I could tell that Deanne was all choked up, but my desire to care had disappeared. "I'm sorry. Will you be there when I get home?" she asked through tears. Nope. Not planning on ever setting foot in that house again. Kathy has your half of the garage sale proceeds. She's looking forward to your call as I think she has a few choice words lined up for you, I said. Oh my. I've really made a mess of my life, she sobbed. No arguments from me. Guess what, we had meant so little to you that it was easy to throw it away. Yours is not the only life messed up. I shared the picture I gave to your parents with David's wife. I'd be careful if you see her coming your way, I warned. Just whimpers for about a minute. Feeling her suffer was soothing to my wounded pride. Petty, I know, but still. My heart had been shredded when the first folder of incriminating pictures were delivered by the investigators. She was so arrogant and sure of herself that I was clueless, that it only took 2 days for me to end the quite expensive intel gathering. Deanne broke the silence. Divorce? Of course. What did you expect would happen? I asked. I didn't think it through. It was only ever on the road, she said weakly. Oh, well, excuse me for overreacting then, I said sarcastically. I deserved that. What's going to happen with the house? She asked. You can buy me out or we can sell. That's how it normally goes. All of my memories are now tainted, so I'm glad to be gone already, I explained. Can we still be friends? She asked hopefully. Not likely. Maybe in 50 years at the old folks' home, I replied coldly. I'm sorry, she repeated. Yeah, you've already said that, I pointed out. My plane is boarding. You're not planning on picking me up this time, are you? She asked. Nope. Hope your luggage doesn't get lost. Hate to see you lose all those special things you wore for David, I said. I love you, she whispered. Whatever, I said as I ended the call. By the following Tuesday, the divorce papers were served on Deanne, at her office, of course. David was served with the equivalent of an alienation of affection suit at the same time. I was wasting my money on that one, but it got the desired effect. All I had were pictures of them entering his room at night and not emerging until the following morning. Can't prove exactly what they were doing, but both were removed from the merger team. I think their chances of moving up in that company were for the most part toast. Even though I had Deanne's garage sale instructions, my attorney warned me that a judge might not see it my way. Hey, there's always a chance, and even if I have to reimburse her, the originals were gone along with any fond memories near and dear to her. As it turned out, the judge would only require me to repay the things that Deanne could prove were hers alone. No paper trail, so sorry. Didn't cost me that much after all. It hurts. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I'll get by. I've got a lot of baggage and severe trust issues. However, life has dealt a lot of other good people worse hands than mine. And so, we've reached the end of today's story. Was it what you expected, or did it take a twist you didn't see coming? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below, and let's get a conversation going. If this story kept you hooked, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new here or just haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to join our community. I bring you fresh, captivating stories every day, so click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.